Hello viewers and subscribers. In this video we will continue with the topic ethers in continuation with alcohols and phenols. Whenever we say ethers, we are majorly concerned about three things. Its preparation, its physical property and chemical properties, where chemical properties are popularly known as chemical reactions of ethers. Over here, let us begin with its first property, that is preparation of ethers. Whenever we say preparation of ethers, there are two major reactions which we are supposed to learn, of which the first reaction is known as dehydration reaction, where 2 moles of ethanol combine together in presence of concentrated H2SO4 at 413 Kelvin temperature. It removes a water molecule, resulting in the formation of ether. Always remember, the generalized ether is this formula or this structure, which is generally known as diethyl ether. Its IUPAC name will be ethoxyethane, and whenever we say in general ether, it is related to this formula. So this is the first method of reacting and forming a product. Over here, there is a separate set of reaction which is very interesting and important. Let us take the same alcohol, and instead of reacting at 413 Kelvin, if we react at 443 Kelvin using the same concentrated H2SO4, instead of formation of ether, an alkene ethene will be formed per molecule, because over here we will take only one molecule, because OH from here and H from here will be removed. But as we are interested in preparing ethers, we would refer the above reaction. So this is the first set of reaction that is very much important from preparation point of view. This is what we are supposed to start from. Now let us think of second and one of the most important reaction when it comes to the synthesis of ethers, that is Williamson synthesis. See, whenever we say Williamson synthesis, always take two different reactants into consideration. RONA, that is different sodium alkoxides, and these different sodium alkoxides combine with haloalkanes. Over here, be very clear that among haloalkanes, the tertiary haloalkanes will react more faster than secondary and will react more faster than primary, as the X from R prime X will be coming out as X negative, and on the other side R prime positive. So this is how it will work. So always taking a tertiary alkyl is more beneficial in Williamson synthesis. In this Williamson synthesis, as and when the reaction proceeds, always keep in mind that NaX will be removed. So when NaX is removed, that is sodium halide, we always prefer to write R O R dash, and the name itself helps you in getting an idea that R will not be equal to R dash. So it is an asymmetric ether. Both the R's won't be similar. So this is one of the very important reaction which was proposed by Alexander William Williamson, and in this reaction be very clear that it is the sodium alkoxide that is reacting with haloalkanes. So you can mention this as sodium alkoxide and these as haloalkanes, and already from the competitive exam point of view we have made this very clear. You can see over here. So friends, this is how we can conclude two popular and very important reactions of preparations of ethers. Now, before we move ahead, let us take one more set of reactions of preparation of ethers, very much similar to the last reaction, that is Williamson synthesis, but over here we would be interested in aryl group. So we will start with phenol and we will try to convert phenol into ether. So this phenol in its initial step reacts with sodium hydroxide, removing out water and resulting into sodium phenoxide. This is ONA. This sodium phenoxide, when reacts with R prime X, sodium halide is removed and we end up writing O R prime. So this is where it makes very clear that we are considering the generation of end ether. So this is very, very important. This step is very, very important. Keep this thing in mind. Now, let us move ahead and discuss some of the chemical properties of ethers. Whenever we say chemical properties of ethers, it is closely related to few very important reactions that are undertaken by ether during its combination with several other compounds. But whenever we say ether, the reactions include ether chemical reaction. We can divide it very easily into fundamental two parts, where the first is the breaking of the CO bond and the second is the electrophilic substitution reactions. Now what is this breaking of the CO bond? So be very clear, whenever I write ether, that is RO R dash, where R is equal to R dash or R ain't equal to R dash. See what I'm doing. In such a case where RO R dash is written, check very well that if I replace it, I will break it from here. So I'm breaking a CO bond. And now going into details with such reactions, let us take the first reaction, that is hydrolysis of ether. We can coin it as hydrolysis of ether. We are trying to add a water molecule in a molecule of ether, and when we try to add water molecule in a molecule of ether, we always use diluted H2SO4 and heat it. See friends, whenever we use diluted H2SO4 and heat it, it has to be heated under pressure, as ethers have a very low boiling point. It results into formation of alcohol plus alcohol, that is 2 moles of ethanol. So be very clear that when a molecule of ether reacts under acidic hydrolysis, it always helps in producing 2 moles of ethanol. Similarly, we can react the ether with halogen acids, that is HBr or HCl. Let us do one thing. Let us react the ether with hydrobromic acid. Be very clear that when ether reacts with hydrobromic acid, we always get 2 molecules of haloalkane plus a molecule of water. So in this case, thinking in a very simple way, 2H and 1O gets removed and the rest of the thing is compiled over here. So this is how we have ethoxyethane combining with hydrobromic acid, giving bromoethane and water. So these are few of the reactions of ethers that are based on the cleavage of CO bond. Now let us just move a step ahead and start few of the electrophilic substitution reactions of ethers. See, first of all, what are the 2 most popular aromatic ethers? Why I am using the word aromatic ethers is, my title itself is electrophilic substitution reaction. When the title itself is electrophilic substitution reaction, I need to have a benzene ring on which an electrophile can be attacked. So I am just going to involve 2 popular aromatic ethers. One is methoxybenzene and the second one is ethoxybenzene. This can also be written as OCH2CH3. This one is known as methoxybenzene. This is ethoxybenzene. So this is now anisole and this is phenitol. So this anisole and phenitol can in general be expressed as OR. And now we will be conducting electrophilic substitution reactions. Whenever we use the word electrophilic substitution, the attacking group is always E+, that is an electrophile. So now comes the question that on what position will this electrophile attack? In this case, first of all we should know that this OR, whether it will be ethoxy or whether it will be methoxy, is a donor group. And being a donor group, it will always activate the ortho and the ortho and the para positions, and therefore the attacking electrophile will have to attack either at the ortho position or at the para position. So now let us start with few of the very popular and well-known electrophilic substitution reactions. We will first conduct two very basic reactions. We will not mention whether we are taking ethoxybenzene or methoxybenzene, a general alkoxybenzene. We will be undertaking two reactions. One is the nitration and second one is the bromination. Whenever we say nitration, it is concentrated H2SO4 plus concentrated HNO3, and we very well know that in this nitration reaction NO2 plus electrophile is generated, and this generated NO2 plus electrophile will always attack either at ortho position or at para position. So we always get a mixture of ortho and para nitro substituted ethers. Now remember very well, on the other side, when I have bromination, I'll always use a very simple reagent, that is bromine and acetic acid, and on removal of hydrobromic acid, again I will get a mixture of orthobromo ethers and parabromo ethers. Whenever I say orthobromo and parabromo ethers, be very clear that I am undertaking electrophilic substitution reactions. Now, moving a step ahead, we have Friedel-Crafts reactions that are involved over here. So, with the same either anisole or phenitol, and even in generalization, we undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction using two different reagents: anhydrous aluminum chloride plus CH3Cl. So whenever we mention CH3Cl, we are very clear that we are just trying to undergo alkylation. So we will get a mixture of two products again, like this. But let us take another set of reaction, that is anhydrous aluminum chloride plus CH3COCl, and in such a case, when HCl is removed, again we are getting a mixture of two, that is OR and COCH3, OR and COCH3. So this is how the things work with these four set of reactions. So friends, these are few of the electrophilic substitution reactions of ethers. So these are the few topics that can be included in the topic ethers, apart from the physical properties and IUPAC nomenclature, along with the structure that were earlier provided to you in the previous videos. So with this chemical reactions of ethers and preparations of ethers, we come to an end of the video on ethers. Thank you once again to the viewers and the subscribers for supporting me. Keep supporting. We will very soon come up with another topic. Thank you.